Kite, in a quiet corner of a vibrant Indian village, where humble mud houses stood nestled amongst lush green trees under a vast, bright blue sky, lived a young boy named Ravi, dressed in simple, torn clothes. Ravi had eyes that sparkled with dreams bigger than his small world. One sunny afternoon, while wandering through the fields, his gaze fell upon a splash of color half hidden in the tall grass. It was a kite, but not just any kite. It was a beautiful, large, colorful kite, sadly torn and broken, its bamboo frame snapped in several places. To others, it might have been just a piece of trash, but to Ravi, it was a treasure, a broken dream waiting to be mended. He carefully picked it up, his small fingers tracing the rips in the paper. A determined glint appeared in his eyes. This kite would fly again. He carried it back to his small home, his mind already buzzing with ideas. He found an old piece of cloth, a forgotten shirt of his father's, and with a needle and thread, he began to patch the holes. His stitches were clumsy at first, but with each one, his resolve grew stronger. He then ventured into the nearby bamboo grove, searching for the perfect, thin, strong sticks to replace the broken frame. It was a slow and painstaking process. He had to carefully bend the bamboo, tying it securely with bits of string he had collected over time. Finally, after hours of dedicated work, the kite was whole again. It wasn't perfect. The patches were uneven, and the frame was a little crooked, but to Ravi, it was the most magnificent kite in the world. With his heart pounding with excitement, he ran to the open fields. The kite held high. The wind was perfect, a gentle breeze that whispered promises of flight. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him, letting out the string, urging his creation to take to the sky. But the kite just wobbled and tumbled, crashing back to the ground with a disheartening thud. A group of children playing nearby stopped to watch. Seeing the patched-up kite fail, they burst into laughter. "Look at his funny kite," one of them shouted. "It will never fly." Their words stung Ravi, and for a moment his shoulders slumped. He felt a tear prick his eye. He looked at his kite, lying defeated on the dusty ground. He could give up, hide his creation, and accept their mockery. But then he remembered the feeling of hope he had when he first found it. He remembered the care with which he had mended it. This was his kite, his dream. He wouldn't let it be grounded so easily. Taking a deep breath, he picked it up again. "Never give up," a small voice whispered inside him. He checked the balance, adjusted the tail he'd made from old rags, and tightened a loose knot. He waited for a stronger gust of wind, his eyes fixed on the rustling leaves of the trees. When the moment came, he ran again, this time with more purpose, more belief. The kite lifted, hesitated, dipped, and then it crashed again. The laughter from the other children grew louder. But this time Ravi didn't falter. He simply walked over, picked it up, and prepared for another attempt. He tried again and again and again. Each failure was not a defeat, but a lesson. He learned how the wind played with the kite's uneven surface, how a slight adjustment to the string's bridle could make a world of difference. With each try, something magical began to happen. The kite stayed in the air a little longer. It climbed a few feet higher before succumbing to gravity. The other children's laughter began to fade, replaced by a curious silence. They watched, intrigued by Ravi's unwavering determination. He wasn't just trying to fly a kite, he was in a battle with the wind, and he refused to lose. "Keep trying," the wind seemed to whisper back encouragingly. He felt a surge of energy. This time, he ran with all his might, his heart soaring with hope. And then it happened. The kite caught a powerful current of air. It shot upwards, no longer wobbling, but climbing steadily. Higher and higher it went, a vibrant patch of color against the brilliant blue canvas of the sky. It danced with the wind, soaring with a grace that defied its humble origins. Soon, it was above the trees, above the houses, flying higher than all the other perfect, factory-made kites that dotted the sky. It was a beacon of resilience, a testament to the boy who refused to give up. Down below, a hush fell over the other children. Their mockery turned into awe. One by one, they started to clap. The scattered applause grew into a wave of cheering that filled the village air. They weren't just cheering for a kite. They were cheering for Ravi. They were cheering for the spirit that had turned a broken thing into a soaring marvel. Ravi stood, holding the string, a wide, proud smile spreading across his face. He looked up at his kite, a symbol of his hard work, and felt a joy so pure it filled his entire being. He understood then, in that triumphant moment, that persistence is the wind that makes dreams fly. As he basked in his success, he happened to glance down at his feet. There, a tiny ant was diligently carrying a grain of rice, many times its own weight, navigating the uneven terrain. It stumbled, but it didn't drop its load. It just righted itself and continued on its journey. Ravi smiled. It was a small, simple sight, but it held a profound truth. In this big world, every creature, big or small, understands the power of never giving up. The ant, the kite, and the boy, they all shared the same unyielding spirit. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the village, Ravi's kite continued to fly high, a masterpiece painted against the twilight sky. He knew this was a day he would never forget. It was the day he learned that no dream is too broken to be fixed, and no height is too great to be reached, as long as you have the courage to keep trying. The sky was filled with kites, but his, the patched-up one, shone the brightest, a reminder that with hope and persistence, anything is possible. Thank you so much for joining us on this heartwarming journey. We hope Ravi's story has inspired you as much as it has inspired us. If you enjoyed this tale, please show your support by hitting the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Tales of Wise Motives. We have many more stories to share with you. Remember to keep growing and keep shining, and we'll see you in the next video.